Question for you today. Are you normal or are you weird?
Well, if you're weird, something special is about to happen. I'm your host, Eric Brown, and with me, the original game changer, Mr. Mike Jones. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, man, living the dream. I love this topic. Normal, weird, so cliche.
Yeah, this is going to be right up your alley for sure, bro. So,
What are you saying? I'm a little weird?
Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about normal, first of all, because most likely you're normal. Normal people are those individuals that are flowing with the universal human paradigm. You've been taught what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And most normal people are going through life shooting all over themselves, more focused on what other people think about them or what other people are going to say about them. So they stay on that well-worn path where the crowd is large. I mean, there are all kinds of numbers when you start thinking about people that are normal. It is absolutely a good place to be if you don't want to stand out, because there are so many people on that well-worn path of doing things the way that they should do, playing not to lose, not bringing any attention to themselves, that it's very easy for you to get lost in that crowd.
So, Mike, I was recently actually talking to a general manager who we have a scorecard that comes out of all the top 40 airports across the U.S. And what this general manager said was they don't want to be at the top and they don't want to be at the bottom. They want to be right in the middle, kind of in the norm. So in the context of that, being weird might be a good thing.
Yeah, it depends on who you are and what it is that you want to leave as your legacy in life. Quite often, when you are playing the game the way that Eric just explained about his general manager, there is nothing special that's going to happen in the context of your legacy. I mean, people are not going to truly have something to remember you by in the context of how you stood out or how you went beyond normal in order to truly create some new possibilities for yourself and for others. When we are playing the game not to lose, we are normal. And I can't tell you, Eric, how many people I've heard referred to, based on the average person, and then they follow up with where they fall in the context of that. I don't know about you, baby, but I don't want to be compared to the average person.
No, absolutely not. And going back to what you said, playing not to lose, I mean, I see these NFL teams on defense that play this prevent defense. And how does that work out for them?
Yeah, preventive defense never prevented anything. So if you are playing prevent defense in your life because you are just focused on getting by, not bringing any attention to yourself. I've actually heard, Eric, people that I was coaching say that they did not want to go out and overachieve beyond normal or average because they would be expected to do that all the time. Okay, what's wrong with that, baby? What is absolutely wrong with that?
No, I mean, from my perspective, absolutely nothing. I got to give a personal example, though, because I can tell you, man, when I do my morning dance party, I get down. And sometimes my kids look at me like I got 3 heads.
Like you're weird.
Oh, man, I'm just out there. And for those of you that have seen my killer dance moves, you know what I'm talking about.
For sure. And I'm going to say, Eric, that when I was raising my 4 boys, one of the things that I heard them say about me, and if they're watching this, and I know at some point they will see this, they said to their friends all the time, hey, man, my dad is weird. And I absolutely was proud of the moments that I heard them say that, because those young men could expect that I was not going to be in a comfort zone doing things the way the world said they should be done. I am an outcome-focused dad, employer, friend, and I'm going to be out there pushing the limits because I want to know what the next level looks like. You know, Eric, I can tell you a story real quickly. I was at a friend's house one time, and while visiting these friends, their 7-year-old came home from school, and she was all upset, man. She was pissy. She was crying. She was all upset. And I went over and asked her, I said, so what's going on with you? What's wrong? She was upset because another kid in her class called her weird. And as soon as she said that out loud, Eric, I started laughing. I couldn't help myself. And she looked at me and put that little pity party on hold for a second and said, "What's so funny, Mr. Jones?" I said, "Girlfriend, let's be clear about something. You are not weird. If you want an example of weird, I am weird." And because she knew me and had been around me a lot, she put that pity party on hold and she said, "You know what? You're right. You are weird." And she walked away, no longer comparing herself to whatever the comparison was and seeing that as a negative, but beginning to transform it as a positive. Because in the context of this conversation, when you are truly weird, it means that you are going beyond the status quo. When you are truly weird, you're accepting personal responsibility and you're the person that's showing up as the game changer, the one that is now altering a negative future in a positive way. I'm encouraging you today to get weird in your significant relationships. Be the person that is now breaking the mold of what should be based upon traditions and create a next practice rather than focusing on the best practice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, how will you ever know what it's like to go too far if you never go too far? You heard it here first on The Edge with Mr. Mike Jones.
Yeah, and I'm going to encourage you to go too far out on that skinny branch, going for the sweetest fruit available to you. I'm going to encourage you to go too far in your personal relationships and be the person that's the game changer in those relationships, improving those relationships, taking those relationships to the next level, absolutely lifting everybody else up in your life. Because when you are making the choice to be the game changer and be the weird person that is smiling more often, that is demonstrating enthusiasm in your life and demonstrating support for the people in your life, they are likely going to absolutely watch the crowd thin out. Because weird is not going to be among the universal human paradigm. The crowd is going to thin out when you choose to be weird. So I'm going to encourage you to get out on that edge, baby, because that's where all of the weird people are. If you're not out on that edge, you are taking up far too much room.
Here we go now.
Here we go now. That was weird.